I also don't like the fact that it doesn't teach you anything in the game. It doesn't tell you what these items are. It doesn't teach you how you dual wield. It doesn't teach you how to change weapons. It doesn't teach you anything because it assumes you have already put those hundreds of hours of Elden Ring. A good game, even a good sequel, even a good spin-off, I think should teach you how the hell the game works.
No FP flask for the wizard class is insane to me. Yes, you can technically pick up items that recoup FP. There's these little like arc things you can pick up, or there's trees and things you can refill it from. Leveling up, you know, going to a site of grace that can give you more FP. But in the middle of a boss fight, running out of FP is one of the most like ridiculous things I've seen, because you'll be in a boss fight and then you just reach a point where you're like, I can't really help. And it's really stupid if you don't have or you used all the items you had picked up to recoup that.
So I feel like a lot of people are misunderstanding Elden Ring, NightReign. Me personally, I'm loving it. Well, love is a strong word. I'm enjoying it. But that's the thing. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that NightReign is an extremely niche video game. It's going to appeal to a very specific audience. It's somebody who likes Elden Ring, who has friends, also enjoys a challenge, and doesn't mind some experimental roguelike elements in their gameplay. Also, patience. You need a lot of patience with this game. If you queue up with randoms, I'm going to say this right now, you're going to struggle. And if you play solo, you're a madman. But at the same time, I can't stop playing. Let me break down what Elden Ring NightReign is for those people listening that don't know yet. It's basically Elden Ring approach to a live service game. You drop into a map. It's kind of like Fortnite. The zone closes in on you while you basically speed run the game of Elden Ring. You run around killing monsters, getting weapons, buffs, leveling up till boss rush. To do a boss rush, you fight 3 different bosses through 3 different nights with 2 other players. The whole thing takes about 40 minutes. What's weird about the game is that it takes a lot from like roguelikes and, you know, battle royale and stuff, and it mixes it with Elden Ring to make this mesh of a video game. It somehow works, but just barely. It feels like the game loop is being held together by a shoestring, if that makes sense. It's still good though, just a bit rough around the edges. It's a very frustrating game, but it's also addicting. There's the good kind of frustrating when it comes to, you know, learning boss patterns, surviving the 3 nights, and just getting good. But then there's the bad frustrating, like the weird design choices, like no form of communication except pinging. Like, it would even be cool we were able to communicate with like getting signs like in the other Dark Souls games. I don't know if they wanted to keep it true to those games because there's no real way to communicate in those games, but I don't know if they quite thought it through. Apparently I heard in an interview they didn't even think to add duos and they're working on it. So yeah, classic FromSoft. But I ain't hating. I just queue up with randoms and hope for the best. And there is a story to the game. It's very light, it's very Souls-like with how they leave pretty much most things to interpretation, but they do give you a premise pretty straightforward. Basically what's happening is it takes place in the lands in between. If you've ever played Elden Ring, there's a war going on between all the different factions. Then all of a sudden, calamity strikes. The NightReign starts to take over all the lands, turning everything into darkness and decaying everything that it touches. There's only a small ragtag of warriors from throughout the lands that are willing to stand up against the NightReign, which is basically a walking, breathing apocalypse. So we're basically fighting the apocalypse. Kind of cool premise. One thing I think they did really well though is like the characters. I like each character I've seen so far, and you definitely play differently because of how each character is built. And yeah, I think they put a lot of effort into designing the characters and their backstories and all of that. very interesting, very cool. It's hard to talk about the positives of the game because a lot of it is just Elden Ring. Like, the same reason I enjoy Elden Ring combat, the same reason I enjoy helping people in co-op, is the same reason I'm playing this game. It's basically the definitive way to play multiplayer Souls right now. Like, I don't think I can go back to putting my summon sign down to help people in normal base game Elden Ring. But like I said, it's rough around the edges. You know what it feels like? The best way to describe this game is the start to what could be a really good live service game down the road, which is kind of ironic because I know I compare it to live service games, but this isn't actually a live service game. From Software doesn't really want to go in that direction, so they're gonna add some DLC, but it feels like a game that would be in desperate need of like more maps, more bosses, more characters, like, you know, a real proper live service. But I'm not too sure if the game is gonna go in that direction, and it just kind of feels weird for FromSoft to be entering that direction in general because it's just not what we really expect from them. But me personally, I kind of knew what I was getting into when I bought this game, so I'm for the most part satisfied with what I got. I'm just a little disappointed that there's not more content. Like, for me, the biggest thing is I wanted there to be more maps, but honestly the map does change. Procedurally generated stuff does happen, and there's like events. So the more I play, I'm realizing that the map is kind of interactive, so I'm enjoying the game the more I play, honestly. You don't really take anything with you except these gems that you can use for effects. Some of these gems are hit and miss. There's some cool ideas in these gems, and some can lead to some ideas for some cool builds. Like, let's say a gem that raises your attack when you poison an enemy. It can get your head spinning on the possibilities. Not all gems are equal though. There are definitely some gems that are better than others. Others feel like they're there to just take up space, honestly. Like, I'm not putting on sleep resistance gem, you know? There are some cool ones though. I haven't unlocked anything super crazy. I unlocked something specific for the Duchess, but I did not read the description fully, but it was something unique. So that is really the only like progression in the game. You also unlock skins, but for me personally, the replayability, just like a lot of Dark Souls games, is just straight up getting good. I mean, there's a whole 8 characters here for me to master, and the game is hard enough that I'll take my time with it. So for me, that's why I'm playing these games. Like, what you see is what you get. It's a Elden Ring mini game. It's not that crazy of a concept. So if that idea sounds interesting to you, then you'll probably like this game. I'm not denying that the game doesn't have issues though. Like, for you, maybe you need more of an incentive than just getting good with the characters to continue to play this game over time. I sure as hell know I won't be done with this game in just like 25 hours. But that's just me personally. When it comes to loot in this game, you're constantly running around the map and collecting weapons with different side effects on them that contribute to your character's overall build. Like, you'll pick up a weapon that reduces damage taken, or you'll pick up one that gives you mini glintstones whenever you're wielding it. Me personally, I do enjoy the different buffs. I just wish there was more variety in general of the buffs. And in terms of weapons, there's so much weapons in Elden Ring that I do feel that there's a lot of different variety when it comes to weapons, just because there's so many weapons in Elden Ring. The main thing I would think is to just lower your expectations, because this game is attached to From Software and the Elden Ring title. I think that might have been a bit of a mistake because it gave people these super high expectations. I would say just go in not really expecting much and see how game plays with the group. But I'll tell you, with randoms, I do feel like I'm playing a challenge mode, but I'm up for a challenge, me personally. But it is much harder when you can't communicate. At the same time, people will get good. This is the first week of the game coming out, guys. Within 2-3 weeks, a month, everybody's going to know what to do. The casuals will have left. It happens with every game. Metas develop. So if people are thinking the game is too hard, I think that's a bogus complaint. I mean, this is Elden Ring. This is a Dark Souls game. What did you expect? I wouldn't have it any other way, especially with how bare bones the content is currently in the game. So all that being said, I will say, if you are not crazy about the Elden Ring franchise, if you do not need to get this game, I would probably get it on discount. It does feel more like a $20-ish game in that realm than it does a $40 game. But then again, they're selling games for $80, so who knows, maybe this is a steal. According to Nintendo fans, I have a lot of PSD from arguing with Nintendo fans. But that's pretty much my conclusion on the game. Elden Ring NightReign is not FromSoft's next masterpiece, but it's probably better than you would think given all the Doom posting. I feel like people should give this game some time and look at it with an open mind. that's pretty much all I gotta say. Let me know how y'all feeling about the game, especially if you actually played it. Let's be respectable in the comments. Anyway, it is what it is. Peace.